What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Cam, man. Back in the trenches, man. Reporting live, man. Fresh from the gym ski per usual, man. Don't mind me while I sip on my protein shake, man. It's been a good morning, man. I can't complain, honestly. Um, but let's just get into it, man. Today we talking about rotations versus relations, right? And this one is for, you know, for my young fellas mainly, um, because I think when you're coming up, when you're on the grind, man, you have a lot of things that hinder you. You know what I'm saying? In your development as a man, and women being like at the top of the list, right? Which it's difficult, man. It's a rough battle. I get that. You know what I'm saying? But there's a right way and there's a wrong way to go about things. You know, um, because it will hinder you. You know, because it's a biological need, um, but at the same time, man, it's easy to get caught up and lost in the sauce, man, in in that aspect, right? So, like I said, it's a time and a place for everything, right? So, in my opinion, and this is advice, right? Um, my young guys, man, 25 and under, realistically, right? Almost YN age, right? 25 and under, man. Leave the girlfriends, leave the relationships, leave the engagements, the marriages, all that stuff, man. Leave that shit for the OGs, right? For the niggas that are have experienced what you should be experiencing now. Leave that for them. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I say, it's a time and a place. So for my OGs, my older cats, that's your time. It's your time to shine. It's your time to pick you one and go down the rest of the journey with that one. You know what I'm saying? But for my young fellas, there's no reason why you should be um, providing your resources, your time, your youth to a commitment that more likely than not is not going to play out the way you think it is in your head, right? Because, you know, everybody has their high school sweetheart, you know what I'm saying, their childhood love, which is the purest form of love, in all reality, man, because you don't have all these stipulations and all the responsibilities that come with, a marriage or a partnership or cohabitating with somebody forever, right? You don't have all the bullshit that comes with that, right? You young and dumb and in love, and so is she, or so is he, whatever, you know what I'm saying, however the dynamic is, right? But it also, like I said, can be a hindrance because that's your time to really fail, right? And you're gonna date, you're gonna have relationships, you're gonna have girlfriends and shit like that, but more likely than not, it's gonna fail. So instead of, you know, going through that process and taking that L, losing those resources, that money, that time, that youth, that age, right? Why not have some fun, right? Spin plates, what they call it, right? Date who you want to date. You know what I'm saying? If you know she ain't wifey material, or you know it's okay, man. You could freak on a chick, you know what I'm saying? You could freak on 10, 20, 30, 40 of them. You can run it up. You know what I'm saying? Run it up. Protect yourself, obviously. But like, and this is for, obviously not for the young men. But like, if you know what I'm saying, you well experienced or you well versed in womanology, then you would notice. But if you're not, I'm telling you, dog, that's your time to fail. That's your time to get your heart broken. For real though, get your heart broke. You know what I'm saying? But learn from it. right? It's a stepping stone in your development, all right? Um, have you know relations with as many women as you can because you're gonna need that experience to understand female nature later on down the line when it's time for you to pick the woman that you want to spend the rest of your life with. So if you can gain that experience, learn those lessons, all while having as much fun as possible, that's just the way to do it. You know what I'm saying? But if you think you finna sit up and really at 18, 19, 21, find a chick that you want to marry, right? And you want to have kids with, you want to spend the rest of your life with, you're hindering yourself from one, a lot of freaking fun, man. You're hindering yourself from a lot of information because you won't really understand how women operate and the things that they require, you know. Um, if you just locked in on one chick, man, you get blinded, you get comfortable, you lose your grind, man, and you fall wayside of your purpose a lot of times, man. Unless you're just locked in faith, um, you're just locked in on your purpose, on your grind, which 90 to 100% of young men aren't. Right, so it's okay. It's okay to be lost in the sauce. It's okay to be figuring things out. But at the same time, this is what you need to be figuring out. Women, right? Girls, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Live it up. Have a freaking blast. Because you're going to screw up, like I said. But it's necessary, man. Um, so, with that being said, have a rotation, right? Have at least two chicks that you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be uh, locked in on one chick because, like I said, man, you're going to develop super super strong feelings for this girl, even if you know she ain't about the right. You know she's promiscuous. You know she's not. You just know she's not the one. But if you solely dealing with her, the level of feelings that you have for her are going to grow. And then you find yourself in a situation where you're not really in love with this chick, but you really, really like her, right? And you willing to put up with a lot of the bullshit that, what I'm saying, she puts you through because you got too comfortable, right? You don't even realize the amount of options that you have out there, you know? So have your rotation and have you at least two chicks. That way you can balance out, you know what I'm saying? Your feelings, man, your hormones, right? You can spread a little here, spread a little there, right? So that way, if one of them go by the wayside, one of them, cut you off, and you cut her off, whatever the case may be, you got another one, and then you can replace that. At least have two. At least have two, a main and a side, right? That's like a meal. You know what I'm saying? You want your main, you gotta have at least one side. You know what I'm saying? For it to be a meal, right? So at least two chicks, man. Now it gets a little more difficult, you know what I'm saying, when you start dating three, four, five chicks at a time, and it gets a little pricey if you know what I'm saying, if you have the resources to do that. I would say still don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's unnecessary. You're not gonna marry all five of these chicks. You don't have to put in that much effort, right? So if you already, you know what I'm saying, have the interest, you already got them where you need them. You ain't gotta spend a dime, bro. Don't let these Megan Thee Stallions and Cardi B's and the internet and all this propaganda that's going on today that you got to pay to play because you don't. You know what I'm saying? If you're an attractive guy, you know what I'm saying, you squared away a little bit at least. You in shape. You working on your body. You working on yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got some charisma. You got a little aura to yourself. You ain't got to spend no money on these chicks, man. You just don't have to. It's just the reality of it. But they'll lie to you. You know what I'm saying? It's a game. Dating is a game, right? You know what I'm saying? There's a winner and there's a loser. Now you get with the chick, you spending all your bread. She really don't like you the whole time. She's a great actor because let's be honest, most of them are. She didn't took your resources up, man. So you got played. You were the loser, right? And that's that's part of the game. Just like on our side as men, a part of our game is we get what we want, and then we kick you to the curb, right? We get them schemes, we get them draws, and then we ain't calling you. You know what I'm saying? We ain't checking up on you. You know what I'm saying? We not moving the same way. Why? Because we won the game. So you gotta understand that they playing the game as well. So in your youth, play the game, win at the game. If you lose at the game, learn from your losses, right? So that way, when you become an OG and you ready to settle down and get you one and spend the rest of your life with, have a family, you know which ones to look for and you know which ones to stay away from, right? Because they're still going to be playing the game. They're going to be playing the game even harder the older they get. They're going to be playing smarter but harder. So they're going to make it harder for you. So you're going to have to um have learned, you know what I'm saying, from early on back in the day when you was a young player, smooth type, cool type nigga. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't get out there, you know what I'm saying, you end up dating a chick all your youth years, your adolescent years, or you know what I'm saying, you just what do they can say, an incel, you just an incel, you ain't really even dealing with chicks like that. It's gonna come back to haunt you, man. It's gonna come back to haunt you. And you're gonna be an older cat, man, that still really can't get sexual access to women, man. You can't even get a relationship because at that point you're gonna want a relationship, but you don't really even know where to begin, man. So like I said, man, if you are an older cat, man, you don't know where to begin, it goes back to back in the day. Same thing you should have been doing this whole rip, right? Body game. Get your body on point, man. Get your finances in check. You ain't gotta be rich. You gotta be self-sufficient. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, at the bare minimum, you need a house, an apartment, and a vehicle that gets you from A to B. That's somewhat nice. You know what I'm saying? At least masculine. Like, something that a man would be driving, right? And a nice apartment, you know what I'm saying, self-sufficient enough to be able to take care of yourself, you know what I'm saying, and take care of a young lady. You don't have to be um, family stable, right? When you dating, when you trying to court and you trying to vet a chick, you just need enough to take care of you and her, right? Um, yeah, looks max. You gotta look smacks. You gotta look presentable. You gotta look the best you can look in order to attract women. And so body game ties into that, right? So you get your body on point, you got some muscles, you get lean, whatever you need to do. You're self-sufficient, you know what I'm saying? You look smacks, you look better, you find a haircut that works for you, find a beard style, do some skincare, do whatever you gotta do, right? And then just excel, right? Just stay on the incline of getting better, doing all of those things, right? And everything else you can make more money, look better, get in better shape. You'll feel better. You'll have more confidence. Your aura will increase to the point where you will attract better quality of women. And if you put in the work, right? You had your fun, you took your L's back then. Now you know, like I said, what to look for and what to stay away from. So you got all your stuff together. You squared away. So now, if you want a lower quality chick, you can still have your fun with them when you become an OG. You can still have your fun with, you know what I'm saying? And it could be a broad that's a 10. But you know what I'm saying? She really in the 10, in the face, she a 9, a 10. She's bad. But she smokes cigarettes and she motherfucking do OnlyFans or she motherfucking whatever she do that makes her less qualified because let's be honest, they can be bad and be less qualified. You can still have fun with those because you squared away. She see that, you know what I'm saying? She wants a piece of that, But we not cuffing that, You can have fun, but you know now that that ain't the quality of woman that you want to be with. You know what I'm saying? When you was 22, 21, you might have really just made her your girlfriend or something crazy. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't put in the work. We didn't have fun with that already. So we already know what come with that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of BS, right? So we just stay away from that. So at 26, 27, you should already have put in the work. You should have already, for the most part, had your fun, experienced um, what you need to experience with women on a physical um, and an emotional level, right? To the point where you ain't got to do that no more, right? You done ran through them, you done did your thing. Now you thinking about a family, right? So you like I said, you dating, you don't gotta be family sufficient. You don't have to have family man money yet. But you should be on the trajectory towards that. So you know what to look for. You got everything squared away. You're ready. So that's on you. You know what I'm saying? If you slip up and cuff a chick that's promiscuous, a whore, whatever, or a real gold digger or whatever you run into, you ain't got nobody to blame but yourself because you you thought you learned your lesson, but you didn't learn your lesson. So yeah, man, I say, and this is not really a red pill channel. You know what I'm saying? This ain't a black pill. This ain't no kind of pill. This is just real spill. You know, um, for my young guys, man, keep your rotation, man. So that way you don't get lost in the sauce. You don't get comfortable. Um, you don't get your heart broke more than once, more than twice. You can get your heart broke twice. The third time's the charm, man. Second time's the charm. After you get your heart broke the second time, listen, man, you should already know, you know what I'm saying, how these chicks is moving, how they think, and how they operate, right? So to the point where you know, you'll know, you know, what she's capable of doing, man. And I get it, man. It's just like you meet a chick, you know what I'm saying, you dating her, you go together, it's been years, you love her, whatever, you think she'll never do that to you, she will. She would do that to you. She'll do that to you with ease, right? But you got to be so stable and so comfortable and so secure in yourself as a man and what you can provide to the next woman if a chick does do that to you. You know what I'm saying? That you ain't even really stunting it. You know what I'm saying? You mess around, find out she been texting the dude or she been with the dude, whatever. You like, oh, okay, cool, baby, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Don't even worry about it. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. No, at no matter what point you are at in your life, you know what I'm saying. That'll hurt. That'll hurt a man. That's enough to send a man over the edge. You know what I'm saying. But like I said, if you don't really know that they capable of that, if you ain't almost like expecting that, and you don't want to, you don't. I get it. You know what I'm saying. You don't want to be in a situation where you expecting that. But once you one, two, three, however many, if you ever experience heartbreak, you'll understand that. You know what I'm saying? That will red pill you for a damn show. But um, you get to a point where, you know what I'm saying, you don't expect it, but you understand um, the capability, man, that these women have to the point where you're not really stunned that. You can enjoy your lady. You know, so you can enjoy your relationship um, all while being okay with leaving, you know what I'm saying, or with her leaving, right? So it's a process, man. It's life, man. You learn life, um, and you experience life, and then you grow from it, right? So I'm just here to give my little 2 cents, man. I just say, man, have your fun when you young, but don't lose track of what I'm saying, your purpose, your goals, your ambition. Um, Stay on that, you know what I'm saying. But have your fun, learn your lessons, take your L's, and then when you get older, you don't got to worry about that, man. You know what I'm saying. Hopefully, I don't know, people ain't really getting married in 2025 like that, or in this day and age in general. You know what I'm saying? Because I think everybody's giving, um, everybody's giving the benefits of their, their role in a relationship, just while dating. So, um, it's what's the point? right? There's no point in getting married. You know what I'm saying? We basically are married. You know what I'm saying? And marriage, um, marriage is a deep construct. Furthermore, like on a spiritual level, right? But we're not gonna really get into that today. But yeah, man, I just think uh, it's not a thing, man. People don't really. I get it. The women, they still pushing for it, but like the fellas, like yo, like especially the ones that top percenters. You know what I'm saying? They got you know they got the game on lock, man. They ain't really got to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you ain't gotta spend no money, you ain't gotta buy no rings, you ain't gotta do all that when you can do what you do. But if you do love a chick, man, and you do want to spend the rest of life with her, after you've experienced life, you done did some work, you done developed, you done became who you want to be, or damn close to it, man. Ain't nothing wrong with marrying a chick, man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with spending the rest of your life with a chick, but you just need to know what she's capable of, right? Have you a family, have you some kids, get you a white picket fence, a dog, a cat. You know what I'm saying? Do the whole nine, man. But first, you gotta do what you gotta do, and you gotta run through a few, right? You know what I'm saying? You gotta make some bread, you gotta build a foundation, you gotta be prepared for what's to come. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, that's all I got for today, man. On a relation versus rotation sentiment, man. That's all we got today, man. So like, comment, subscribe, man. I'll see y'all on the next one.